A few years ago, our next guest lived in Japan. He was CEO of Microsoft Japan, and then he was promoted, went back to the United States, and his position there had him reporting to then CEO Steve Ballmer. A few years before that, he had a good run at the Starbucks Coffee Company, and later in that tenure, he reported to the founder and CEO, Howard Schultz. But today, he has his dream job. Every day is about hotels and alternate accommodations and cars and airplanes and technology and innovating and going fast without rushing, technology, delighting customers, billions and billions and billions of dollars in U.S. of gross bookings, and believe it or not, in 2015, over $3.7 billion U.S. in EBITDA or profit. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President and CEO of the Priceline Group and the CEO of Booking.com, Mr. Darren Huston.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Philip. Yeah, thank you.
So why is it your dream job? I've heard you say that, but I never asked you why.
Well, I'd say the best job I ever had, I managed a bar for 2 years in university. This is my second best job. But for me, through my experience at Starbucks, where I really learned a passion for consumer brands, Microsoft, just a passion for technology, and I love things that are international. And travel, of course, is a great thing. We all do it. I'm not in the gambling industry or anything dark like that. So it's the perfect job, and I get a chance. In a way, when I first heard about Booking.com, I was at an ice hockey game in Vancouver, and somebody said, "Oh, there's this internet company in Europe, and here's how big it is." And I'm like, "Well, that's impossible."
You never heard of it when
never
they
heard
had
of
their
it.
First contact.
When they said how big it was, I said it can't be unless it's in gambling or something, which I don't really know that side of the internet. And they said, no, it's in the hotel industry and it belongs to Priceline. And I thought just maybe I got lucky enough to find something big and amazing that I could help make a global brand. And fortunately that was the case. And that's why every day is a complete pleasure.
They just had a polling question about the keys to success. I think it was capital, staff and culture, access to customers.
Yeah.
And what was the fourth one? Who remembers? Remember? But do you agree with it? I think the answer came access to customers. Would you have answered that?
You know what? I actually think I would answer the second one.
Staff.
Because, in our business, all we have is people and servers. And servers are dumb. Like, servers don't think. So if I really dig deep, the success of Booking.com was the people. Who worked tirelessly to create this amazing back end, amazing front end, always with a focus on customers. And customers come to you because the work and the art is so great. And every day, when somebody comes to Booking and they meet our team and they go, "Oh my God, you have an amazing team." That's what warms my heart the most and why I know I can sleep at night, because we really have an outstanding team.
The other thing I always answer that wasn't up there is timing, which is the luck part. But I always say the definition of luck is where preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah, it's sort of what you can control and mold, and I think the people side of things is everything for me.
So we can step back. A lot of people know the Priceline Group, but we're in Europe where everyone knows Booking.com. But we could just quickly update the audience on all the brands under the Priceline Group umbrella beyond Booking.com.
Yeah, we have 6 principal brands. So, of course, Booking.com, Priceline.com, which is multi-line travel.
And that's just in the U.S., right?
North America.
North America.
Yeah, and it's all travel. Kayak, which I think more Europeans are learning about. Rentalcars.com.
Know that one well.
Yeah, and you know that one well because you helped us buy it. And Agoda.com, which is an Asian OTA, and then the latest edition, which is Opentable. Which is mostly U.S., although expanding in Europe.
I was making a reservation last night on opentable.de, and I couldn't find where to go to English.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it is in it.
Yeah, we have a few. Yeah, this is it actually reflects the challenge that we have to globalize the Opentable brand. We didn't buy Opentable for what it was. We bought it for what it will become.
Yeah.
And we have amazing work going on. We hope by this summer that the whole platform will be entirely globalized. Booking.com does more translations than any company in the world. We have thousands. So being able to take all the OpenTable content.
42 languages?
42 languages. So but part of it is getting the platform right. And I think we're on a good path now to do that.
Did I read once you said that you actually want OpenTable to become the Booking.com of the restaurant industry?
Absolutely, yeah.
So what percentage of the way are you there, from 0 to 100, would you say?
It's a long journey, but we're maybe a third of the way there.
A third of the way. So.
Yeah.
How many employees total in the Priceline Group?
16,000.
And of the 16, how many are Booking.com?
10,000. Wow. 11,000 now. Yeah.
16,000. And 42 languages, I think, did I see 200 and something countries?
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a little bit of debate about that, by the way, because there aren't 200 countries in the world. But I think we're at 224 countries and territories, which is another way to define things. It's pretty much everywhere except we're not in South Sudan, we're not in Syria, we're not in North Korea. But yeah, we're getting near the end of the list.
Okay. And I think last year, when you just reported out 2014, the company exceeded 50 billion US in gross bookings, and that was an amazing accomplishment. And you did it again last year,
55, yeah.
55 billion. That's a lot of customers and a lot of travel transactions. So.
Yeah, but still small.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems big, but that's 55 billion. Expedia's like 50 odd billion, so that's 100 billion. But our mission as a group is help people experience the world. Right. We're the largest e-commerce player in the world doing that, because the other two that are bigger than us sell physical things, Alibaba, Amazon.
Yeah.
But the world of experience is 1.3, 1.5 trillion.
Yeah,
so we're still a small fish in a very large pond, and a lot of work yet to do.
Yeah, I would need a world banker, but I always say that travel and tourism is somewhere between 9 and 10% of global GDP. So in that respect, it's still small.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's growing faster than GDP. So tourism is generally growing 2 times the rate of GDP. If you ask the average human being, you said, and you can ask this actually to any stage, emerging markets, developed markets, you said, if I gave you 1,000 euros tomorrow, what would you spend it on? And predominantly they would spend it on experience. They wouldn't really spend it on better clothes, new shoes. Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, that's what people want to do with their incremental money.
There are not too many Instagram photos of inside airports and airlines unless something went wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So all these big numbers, countries, dollars, people, but is the culture such that there's still no team bigger than 8 or so people?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we've organized the whole company in small work teams. Yeah. And so, for instance, our front end is broken up into 45 pieces, and each team has a product owner, and then they have developers and a copywriter, and the whole thing is very bottom up. So I always share this story. It's a Microsoft term. I'm the hippo, which is the highest paid person's opinion, which is completely meant to be ignored. So nobody listens to me.
And do they ignore you?
They completely ignore me.
Oh, that's good.
But I have fun because I get to walk around the front end and I can poke and have you tried this, have you done that? I usually know that if it's my idea, they probably won't do it.
Yeah.
But it makes it fun. And what I love, the most valuable thing as a CEO, everyone talks about KPIs and this, but the teams hold one another accountable. When you're on that small of a team, if one person's slacking it or somebody's out sick too much, the rest of the team's like, come on. I mean, there's 7 of us. If you're not coming into work early enough and we're carrying all the burden, and at a very personal level, human beings, they will respond to that, because when you're in a tight work team, you've got an end product and things to get done, and then it works.
So Darren, you mentioned the word product, which is probably my biggest challenge in this industry. You've only been in travel and tourism, what, 5 years?
About 5 years.
5 years. I'm not going to tell you how long I've been, but the hair color used to be different, and there was a lot more of it. And there's hundreds of thousands of people here at ITB. In the digital world, we use the word product to mean one thing. Yeah. But in the, allow me to say, traditional travel industry, product means supply. Yeah. What the customers buy. Yeah. So, and I'm constantly educating and trying to get people to say, no, that's supply, that's not product. So. You mentioned product team. Can you give your simple definition of what product is?
Yeah, well, yeah. In our world, we have end users, and we share the end users with our business partners, and the business partners are providing a service. So for them, that's the product. It's the hotel room. It's the rental car.
That's their product.
That's their product,
but not your product.
And our product is the front end at which the customers come through, and it's a digital product. It includes customer service and support. It includes translations. It includes all of those kind of things. But that's how we think about product.
Yeah.
But what comes together for the customer is the combination of our booking service and then the experience that they have at the end of the day, whether it's a restaurant, a rental car, or a combination.
And I think you mentioned now you have 45 different product teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just on Booking.
Just on Booking.com.
Yeah.
And all the brands have product teams.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And we have about 2,500 of our 16,000 are tech. It's devs, people who are on these teams, actually building the products.
I asked you this question last year, but with products just so fascinating. So I think I can guess what a lot of those 45 product teams do. Yeah. But can you share with the audience some of the more obscure product teams out of the 45?
Well, let's think. We've got, well, take even Android. We've got 4 teams on Android, not just one team, but we've got...
For just the app, just Booking.com.
Exactly. So you've got the post-booking Android team, you've got the booking Android team, you've got the Inspire booking Android team, which is more pre-booking, and then we've got a team that just looks at end-to-end consumer experience. So 4 teams just working on Android, and then you've got the same, of course, iOS, and then you get to the desktop, and it goes into multitudes.
So since you brought up iOS and Android, true or false, mobile is the most disruptive trend/technology to travel?
True.
Why is it true?
Well, when I joined Booking, I think it was 2011, we had 3 people working on mobile, and we were doing maybe 3 or 4% of our bookings through mobile. Today, it's far over a third of our bookings. Soon it'll be half. We have 300 people working on mobile. Yeah. So, and it's not just getting the bookings, it's that everyone is going and carrying a computer in their pocket when they go to experience. So it's getting the booking, it's creating travel guides, it's creating, I love the little button on get me to my hotel. So no matter where I am, if I've been out drinking or eating, get me to my hotel. And it pops up Google or Apple Maps and takes you to your hotel and call the hotel. All of these things. And mobile is just, if you've missed it, you've missed it. One other thing I'd say is I met a CEO, I won't say of a large travel service provider, and he said, "Yeah, we're mobile because we have a responsive website." Yeah. I just started, and that wasn't being insulting, but I'm like, if you think that's your mobile strategy, you have no idea.
I've gotten people at companies I work with. I say, take the mobile web and move it into your desktop. Yeah. That's not what we mean. Yeah, exactly. Because it doesn't convert, it doesn't work. Exactly. You need an app, and they yell at me, and
you have to have a team that creates new software for the mobile devices. I mean, it's just, and it's amazingly impactful. I was with my assistant saying, "Hey, what apps do you have on your phone?" I was looking at, are any of these really deep and useful? And I think actually we have deep and useful apps. Uber's got a deep and useful app, but there's a lot of stuff out there that is just not that helpful. There's not that many things on your phone still, despite all the investment and all the time. Amazing. There's a lot more work that has to be done. But for travel, for sure, if you run a hotel or you run a rental car company, you don't understand what's going on. The consumer behavior is changing dramatically. I mean, spontaneous booking is going through the roof. People are just, wanderlust is the new way of travel. They just walk out into the countryside in France and they find a bar and they say, "Hey, where do you want to stay tonight?" And they just look around. We could stay there, we could stay here. They book right there, walk into the hotel. It's just amazing.
Whole different psyche. So in English, we say there's an elephant in the room. Like you don't see the elephant, but it's like I don't know if it translates into other languages, but can we please show that slide? Oh, I guess we can see over there. So you can see it here, Darren.
Oh, yeah, right over here? Okay, yeah.
So
it's more clear.
That's Marriott.com. And right there they have this trademark. It pays to book direct. So let me follow this up. Then I want to show you a television commercial, and then we'll have a conversation.
Okay.
Run the commercial.
Stop clicking around. Book direct at Hilton.com for the lowest price online. And start playing. Start relaxing. Start loving. Book direct at Hilton.com and start saving.
That wasn't the first time you saw that commercial.
No.
Okay. So, somebody asked me yesterday, I said, "You really going to show him that commercial?" I said, "I have a funny feeling he saw it a few times." So, but I say it's an elephant in the room. I mean, you have your big partners that you deliver a lot of business to, and there's no secret about it. They spend all their waking moments trying not to do business with you. So, what gives?
You know, it's funny. I look at that and I think, can you imagine if on booking I had book direct to booking, don't go through Google?
Yeah.
Like, in a way, we spent $2.8 billion finding demand. And of course I want to do that, but I don't think it's effective with customers. Like telling a customer how they should go through the internet is a strange thing, but let's see if it works. I'm a little skeptical because I think the best thing is just create a great experience. Like all those pictures of people tapping on phones that aren't working, thank God our apps work.
Yeah.
And our business is growing really fast, and I find it annoying a little bit because you are in a business relationship. It is a partnership, and we bring guests from all over the world. You know, the average booking guest, only 2% stay in the same hotel twice. 2%. Like they're transients. They're like my mother. She doesn't need Hilton Point. She just wants a great place to stay. She's going to Barcelona. She's trying to find a great hotel. Doesn't really care if it's a Hilton, a Starwood, whatever. If you run a great hotel, you'll get my mother. Yep. But she doesn't need all of the extra. You know, I stayed at a property the other day. The password for the Wi-Fi was Book Direct. And I'm like, I find it annoying, but I'm like, what is the purpose? Like, I'm not going to come in now and because the Wi-Fi password is Book Direct, say, Jesus, maybe I should have booked direct. You know?
So you just mentioned, so the Priceline Group spent in 2015 $2.8 billion with a B U.S. with Google.
No, in marketing. In marketing.
Okay, so and a high percentage of that is. And these hotel brands, and I work with a lot of them, they don't own the real estate by and large. So their job is to run. Like if you and I decided to buy that building over there, we could put it out to bid, and then they would run the hotel. So is it possible for entities that are superb at running hotels, staff, linens, hospitality, food and beverage, check-in, design, can they ever be as good as the big online players at aggregating demand? Because that's what Book Direct means, right?
Yeah, the challenge is that not everything is like St. Louis. So there, everything, maybe 90% of the properties are branded. If you go to Budva in Montenegro, there are no branded hotels. And there's amazing places to stay. What I always say is brands have a role in the world. The brand means to represent a certain type of experience. If that experience is differentiated, people will book it. But if it's not a well-run hotel, that's the problem with the internet, is it's so democratic, it's shameless in punishing bad experiences, but on the other hand, it rewards amazing experiences, because if you run a great property, regardless if you're there's an amazing Hilton DoubleTree in Amsterdam. I love it. The guy who runs it is amazing, and we do so much business there. He does so much business, and it's all good because we're doing our job, he's doing his job, we've got a great relationship. But you could have the same hotel in another part of the world that's not well run, and the internet, whether it gets booked direct or gets booked through us, will punish it because of reviews, and people are just getting smarter.
Do hotels really save as much money as they think they do when they take a direct booking?
I don't think so. Because, of course, you've got mileage programs, you've got other things. We have a challenge with some chain hotels that the owner gets charged our commission and the chain's commission on our bookings. So sometimes when they look at one of our bookings, they're like, wow, I got to pay the chain for this as well, but they haven't done anything. And that can be a challenge in some arrangements, but generally speaking, I feel like, hotel owners that we surveyed generally say that we're the lowest cost highest performance model that they have.
Only
in filling properties.
10% of bookings are chain hotels, so the other 90%.
10 to 15%. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that's different there. Anyway, something tells me this topic will be around for.
It's been
forever.
around since 5 years.
Forever.
But you know what? The really good news is there's a lot of noise about it because the industry likes to write stories about soap operas and these kind of things. But the reality of the day-to-day on the field with owners of hotels and operators of hotels and our team, it's very positive. And the surveys we do, people like working with our people.
Yeah.
You know, I don't call hotels customers. They're our partners. We're like business partners. We have tough discussions. But at the end of the day, the customer is the end user. And we have to find a way to work together to make the end user comfortable that they're going to have a great experience. But partners have tough discussions. We can't avoid it. We can't be all nice. Partners can feel like, oh, you're getting too big. And we can say, oh, you're not treating our guests well. But those are good discussions to have to ultimately deliver a better product at the end of the day collectively.
I want to switch gears to B2B. There's this, my phrase, a technology stack for hospitality and lodging, from PMSs to CRSs to Expedia recently took a 30-ish% position in a New York company called Alice.
Yeah.
Expedia owns most of Trivago. Trivago just took a 50-something% position in a Swiss tech company. Accor bought Fast Booking, and of course, Priceline Group has this thing called Booking Suite, which you bought Boutique and Hotel Ninjas and Price Match, et cetera.
Exactly.
So, how important is this maybe less known, less sexy side of the business, a wide variety of technology solutions for the hospitality and lodging industry?
Well, the reason we find it very important because some of the technology our partners are using is really old, and it doesn't work that well, and they complain because they want more direct. And we can build a website in literally a minute. Like, we have all the content. We can do it. We can do it for free. You know, they pay us some on the transaction, but we kind of believe because the hotel industry has been underserved by great technology, and we're a technology company, this is a great way to give back. And it also is a great way to build trust. The properties, that we have now tens of thousands of websites, the ones who have it feel like they've got a closer relationship with us. And we just launched a tool now called Rate Manager. If you haven't tried it, my little sales pitch, it's amazing. It literally will take all your PMS data, all of our data, through the cloud. We'll make a recommendation. Tomorrow, your hotel should be priced at $84. You're saying 82, okay? Take a run at 84, click. Tomorrow should be 120, you're saying 118. And we've developed these algorithms that we can do through our scale and then provide them back to a local hotel
and these are for independent little small properties.
Independent, but it could be done in a chain. It'll take them longer to accept maybe that we're working on this, but it actually works really, really well. So my dream with this is it's not this big money maker. It's really about building closer relationships with our partners because they know we can convert. They know we have great software. All of my engineers are so passionate about the space, and how do we ultimately give that back? But some of these tools are, they're growing very, very fast, and we hope ultimately that we can help improve the technology state of the accommodation industry.
I've got two final questions. A lot of press about Expedia acquiring HomeAway. Why did the Priceline Group pass on HomeAway?
Well, our strategy has basically been starting with hotels, moving into non-hotel accommodation, igloos, tree houses, boats, hostels, and then eventually down the pyramid ending up in the single homeowner, single home type product. And now we have 22.9 million rooms on the website. I don't know how many rooms there are in the world. Let's call it maybe 30 million, 40 million. And a lot of the remaining rooms are in smaller properties. A lot of hotels in China, in India, we still need to do, but we're getting down the stack. But we're trying to build out our accommodation stack to make booking an apartment as easy as booking a hotel. No consumer fees, instantly verifiable. The problem with the HomeAway model and the Airbnb model is they charge consumers fees, and there's a whole back and forth, right? Deposits and send me money. So we're trying to build a lower friction model.
So if the HomeAway model were different, would you have had a possibly
I might have been interested 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But after we got going on it, it's so much easier once you get traction to do it with your own team, because then you're not dealing with incompatible technology, all of these things. And I'm super proud of the progress, but the vacation rental space is the hardest yet. Like, we cracked hostels, we cracked B&Bs, but vacation rentals, finding the keys, where's the person? They're wanting deposits. We're trying to convince them, don't take deposits, insurance, all of these things. But it's going to happen. Like 5 years from now, booking a vacation home in Aspen will be as easy as booking a hotel room, in a Marriott in New York. And I can see it coming.
So to wrap up, we have this expression, unicorn company.
Yeah.
Generally, the definition is a private company with a valuation over $1 billion or 1 billion euros. Two of them are going to be on stage with me tomorrow, Uber and BlaBlaCar.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of talk about this. What's just big picture? What's your view on unicorn companies?
Well, I think, everything goes for a life cycle. And I think in the case of the unicorns, the real question is, what's the sustainable business model at the end of the day? Because there will be a moment that they have to make money. I mean, every company really is a discounted cash flow of all the money you make. And you can lose a lot of money, and sometimes for a very long time, but at some point you need to make money. And if there's no model at the end of the day, things will fall apart. And I think there's a lot of amazing things that come out of this space. Obviously, I think Uber is an outstanding one. Maybe the culture, there's other issues, but putting that aside, BlaBlaCar is outstanding. There's a few others. Blue Apron is one that some friends treated to me when I was in the United States. There's a lot of great ideas, and I think a lot of ideas do come through that space. Right. But ultimately, every one of these companies will have to grow up. They got to play by the rules. They're going to have to make money. And I want to make sure our companies, which of course are all in that space, are at the moment able to compete with these new things coming out of Silicon Valley.
Maybe next year we can do a scorecard. How many are still around or IPO next year? We'll see.
I mean, the math for venture capitalists would be a lot of them won't be, but that's okay. That's the nature of that business. And a lot of people are making a lot of money for the kind of valuations they're talking about, some of the bigger players. So I respect it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darren, Huston, thank you very much.
Thanks, Phil. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.